You just sent a client a research summary. Clean. Professional. Every statistic cited, and one of those statistics cited, and one of those statistics completely made up. The AI that wrote it didn't warn you. It didn't hesitate. It just invented a number. This is AI tools that work. I'm talking about the problem that cost businesses $67.4 billion last year alone. And today, we're going to fix it. Here's what nobody tells you about AI. The same confident tone it uses when it's right, that's exactly the same tone it uses when it's completely wrong. There's no disclaimer, no uncertainty. It presents fabricated citations with the same authority as verified facts. And if you don't know this going in, that's when expensive mistakes happen. So today, which models hallucinate the most, why this problem persists in even the best systems, and the exact verification workflow that enterprises actually use to catch errors before clients ever see them. Let's start with what's actually happening when AI gets things wrong. Because it's not lying. It's not being lazy. The architecture itself makes this inevitable. Language models don't actually know things the way you and I do. They predict the next most likely word based on patterns they learned during training. That's it. That's the whole mechanism. So when a model doesn't have the answer, it doesn't say, "I don't know." It guesses. And it guesses with the same confident delivery as when it's absolutely certain. OpenAI's own research from earlier this year explains it directly. Their training process, and this is their words, quote, "rewards guessing over acknowledging uncertainty." The training accidentally teaches models to confabulate rather than abstain. That's the technical word, confabulate. It means generating plausible-sounding information that isn't actually true. And this confabulation isn't rare. According to the 2026 AI Hallucination Report, businesses lost $67.4 billion globally to AI hallucinations in 2024 alone. $67 billion. That's not projected costs. That's not theoretical risk. That's actual documented losses from businesses trusting AI-generated content that turned out to be wrong. Now, some models are significantly better than others. As of the latest benchmarks, Google's Gemini 2.0 Flash Ozo 1 leads the industry with a hallucination rate of just 0.7%. 0.7% sounds incredible, and it is. But here's the thing, that still means roughly 1 in every 140 responses contains some form of fabricated information. For casual use, that's fine. For a legal brief, a medical recommendation, a financial analysis you're sending to a client, 1 in 140 is terrifying, and Gemini is the best case. Other models perform significantly worse. Claude and ChatGPT hover between 3 and 5%, depending on the task type and complexity. Older open-source models? Some still hit double digits, and these are the systems people are building business processes around, without verification, without oversight. The legal profession has learned this the hard way. You might remember the cases from a few years back. Lawyers submitting briefs with AI-generated citations that didn't exist. The AI cited cases that sounded real. Names, dates, docket numbers, all fabricated. The courts weren't amused. Sanctions followed. Some attorneys faced serious professional consequences. That's why new tools are emerging specifically for legal verification. Above the Law reported last month on systems designed specifically to catch AI hallucinations in briefs before filing. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The hallucination problem isn't getting solved. It's getting managed. Even OpenAI admits there's no technical fix on the immediate horizon. So if the models can't fix themselves, and they can't, at least not yet, then we need to build systems around them that catch errors before they cause damage. And this is where the data gets interesting. According to research from Supermind AI, 76% of enterprises now run human-in-the-loop processes specifically designed to catch hallucinations. 76%. 3/4 of enterprises have acknowledged that AI output cannot be trusted without human verification. This isn't pessimism, it's professional practice. So what does that verification workflow actually look like? What are enterprises doing that regular users aren't? Let me walk you through the framework that actually works. Step 1. And this sounds obvious, but almost nobody does it. Never send AI-generated content to clients without verifying the facts, especially statistics, especially citations. The moment AI gives you a number, a percentage, a dollar figure, a date, that's your signal to verify. Not because AI is usually wrong. Because when it is wrong, it won't tell you. Step 2 is multi-model validation. This is the technique that catches errors single model approaches miss. You run the same query through 2 or 3 different AI systems and compare their answers. If Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini all give you the same answer, higher confidence. If they disagree, that's your warning sign. Something needs human verification before it goes anywhere. For research tasks specifically, one approach is using AI tools that cite their sources. Perplexity, Claude with web search enabled. These systems link to where they found information so you can actually check. And here's the critical part. When AI gives you a citation or a link, click it. Actually, click it. Fake citations are one of the most common hallucination patterns. The link might look real. It isn't. Here's something you can start doing today. Build what I call the 30-second verification habit. Before using any AI response for work, check the single most important fact in it. Just one fact. 30 seconds. Google the statistic. Check the date. Confirm the name is spelled correctly. If that one fact is wrong, the whole response becomes suspect. This 30-second check catches the obvious errors, the ones that would be embarrassing. The client would notice. The judge would flag. And it takes almost no time compared to the cost of getting it wrong. Now, I want to be clear about something. This isn't about being paranoid. It's not about distrusting AI. AI is genuinely useful. These tools save hours of work every single day. But useful doesn't mean infallible. A calculator is useful, you still double-check the important numbers. A GPS is useful, you still notice when it's about to drive you into a lake. AI should be treated the same way. Trust, but verify. Use the output. Appreciate the time savings, and build that 30-second verification habit before anything important leaves your desk. The enterprise is getting this right. The 76% with human-in-the-loop processes, they're not slowing down their AI adoption. They're accelerating it, because verification enables confidence. When you know errors will be caught, you can move faster. You can use AI for drafts, for research, for first passes, all the grunt work. Then human verification handles the quality gate. So let me give you the specific workflow. First, AI generates the initial output. Draft, research summary, analysis, whatever the task is. This is where AI excels. Fast, comprehensive, structured. Second, the 30-second verification. Check the most important fact. If it's wrong, stop. Regenerate with better prompts or verify the entire document manually. Third, for anything high stakes, run multi-model validation. Query Claude, ChatGPT, and one other model. Compare answers. Consensus increases confidence. Disagreement demands investigation. Fourth, for citations specifically, click every single link. Verify every reference actually exists. This adds maybe 2 minutes to your workflow. It saves hours of embarrassment if something's fabricated. And here's a pro tip that most people miss. When AI gives you a statistic, not just the number, but its source, search for that source directly. Don't trust the link. Search the source name and find it yourself. I've seen AI generate links that look legitimate, proper domain structure, realistic URL patterns that lead to nothing, or worse, to pages that exist but say something completely different. The irony is, the better AI gets at sounding confident, the harder hallucinations become to spot. A clumsy hallucination is obvious, a polished one slides right past. That's why the enterprise approach isn't about catching bad AI. It's about building systematic verification into the workflow so nothing ships without human eyes on the key facts. If you're finding this helpful, consider subscribing. We cover practical AI workflows like this every week. No hype, just what actually works. And a like helps other people find us too. Now let me address the elephant in the room. Some people hear all this and think, if AI is this unreliable, why use it at all? Fair question. Here's the answer. The hallucination rate for Gemini is 0.7%. For ChatGPT and Claude, between 3 and 5% depending on task complexity. The accuracy rate is 95 to 99%. That's remarkable performance. No human researcher is 95% accurate across every task. The difference is humans usually know when they're uncertain. AI doesn't. So the solution isn't avoiding AI. It's building the verification layer that catches the 3 to 5%. Because that 3 to 5%, that's where the $67 billion went. Here's your action item for this week. The next time you use AI for anything work-related, before you use that output, pause. Check one fact. Just one. If it's right, great. Your verification habit is forming. If it's wrong, great. You just avoided a potentially expensive mistake. Either way, you're building a skill that compounds. AI hallucinations aren't going away. The best models have improved dramatically, from double-digit error rates to under 1%. But under 1% isn't 0%. The $67 billion cost came from treating AI output like fact. The 76% of enterprises succeeding with AI, they treat it like a very capable first draft that needs verification. Build the verification habit. Use multi-model validation. Click the links. Check the facts. Do this, and AI becomes exactly what it should be, an incredibly powerful tool with appropriate guardrails. That's it for this week. I'm AI Tools That Work. Build the habit. Verify the facts. And I'll see you next time.